Hello, hello, welcome back to the scenic route with your girl Jovanna. What's going on? How y'all doing? Wow, it feels good to be back on here. Whenever I do these, I get really excited. I get really happy because I love chatting with y'all. I love your comments. I love your feedback. I love that y'all are here and supporting. So I just always want to lead with a huge thank you. Always. So today's message, I'm still going to stick to like the whole acting ideas or thoughts or insights that I want to provide, just because, again, I've been getting a lot of messages around that. So today it's about the number one mistake I see new actors making whenever they come to Los Angeles. And I like to specify Los Angeles because this is the market I know, and every market is very different. So I want to acknowledge that I am not the expert. I've been here for a long time, and I know what has worked and hasn't worked. And I've seen a lot of people come into town, and I've drawn a lot of lessons from that. As well, just to let you know also, I did also work at an acting studio. So my first 5 years here, that's how I was able to always be in class. I mean, I was in class probably, 20, 30 hours a week because I got free acting classes for working in an acting studio. So that was a trade, and it was amazing because not only did I, learn a lot, but I got to meet a lot of amazing actors, and many of which I'm still really good friends with. And like we go to film festivals together, and oh gosh, it's amazing. So that being said, it's not just, my actor experience, it's my also, studio manager experience when I bring you these tips and insights and ideas. So I just want to put that out there, just so y'all know that there is some basis for what I'm saying. So, okay. So the number one mistake I see new actors do, okay, I believe it is putting the cart before the horse. Yep, that's the number one mistake. Putting the cart before the horse. The horse has to drag the cart, right? Makes total sense. But so many new actors come here and they say, oh, I need to get headshots, or I need to get an agent, or, I got to start submitting so that I can audition. Those are the three things in that cart, in my opinion. The three things that actors put before the horse are getting headshots, getting an agent, and starting to audition. In my opinion, I feel like that is secondary. I know it's counterintuitive, isn't it? Because you need headshots and you need an agent and you need to audition. Yes, you very much need all those things. So I don't want you to think you don't need them. However, you need tools and you need learnings and you need experience before you do those three things, right? So let me explain. So let's talk about headshots. Just briefly touching on why I think headshots are in that cart, because headshots are a very specific marketing tool for the actor. Okay, when you get headshots, it's pricey. It can be expensive. It can be very expensive, actually, depending on who you go to. And most casting directors and filmmakers do not want to see a makeshift, make-at-home headshot as your leading marketing tool. Makes sense, right? You want something professional. You want to appear to be a professional when you first start auditioning. Before you audition, you need a headshot because that's how you're gonna get the audition. See, I gotta be careful because there's a lot of cart in front of the horse just in this conversation, because you need one tool for the next step. However, the headshot is a very specific need, and you need to know what your headshot says. But before you can do that, you need to know who how people see you. What is it that you're putting out there? What is it that you're good at? What is it that you're selling, right? It's like, what is it that you're trying to convey in that headshot? Long gone are the days where you could have one smiley headshot and one not smiley headshot. There's so much more that goes into a headshot now. The expectations are so much higher and the bar is really high. Oh God, this gets tricky because during COVID, it's a very different request that's being made. Because if you have a family or if you have a significant other that you can audition with, that is very appealing to casting right now because it makes their job easier because, you know, we're potting and you know, with COVID implications, it just makes it easier because they can't, you know, really piece together a family the way that it used to be. So there's two parallel lanes. Okay, so your own personal headshot needs to be professional looking. So if you're able to audition with family members or you have a significant other who might be interested in auditioning with you, casting is a little less stringent around those photos. Makes sense, right? Right now, you know, getting together with a photographer might be a bit of an issue, or they just need something immediately and you don't have time to go get a professionally done like family portrait. Like that's not necessary in these times. So those are two different now lanes, right? I'm just going to talk about the actual headshot, right? Because that's where you're going to spend the dollars, because that's what's expected for you to get a professional headshot. So again, it can be pricey. A headshot session can run anywhere between $250 for one look, maybe, to like $600 and higher, depending on how many looks. Looks are how many outfit changes and, you know, hair styles or whatever you're gonna change into in that session. So it depends. Some photographers do 1 look, 2 look, 3 looks, up to 6 looks, infinite looks, whatever the case may be. Prices vary. So from $250 to $1,000, let's say, right? That's a lot of money to spend. And it's a lot of money to waste, okay? Because if you don't know what you are selling, we're going with that just for simplicity, you're wasting your money because a generic headshot with just a smiley face oftentimes just doesn't cut it anymore. So now you spent, let's say, $500 on these headshots that aren't getting you auditions. Well, the point of a good headshot is to get you good auditions. So now you've wasted that money. So that's why I recommend that before you spend money on headshots, you learn what it is that you will likely be brought into by casting, because casting needs instant recognition. They need to look at a photo and be like, yes, I could see this person in this role. They don't have time. They do not have time. They do not have time. Can I say that 18 more times without annoying you? Probably not. But that's the truth. They do not have time to imagine you. I know it's an imaginary world, this acting thing that we do, but they don't have the time to imagine you being in that role. Therefore, they require instant recognition. That being said, if you need a shot where you look more professional, let's say you want to go out for, you know, the procedurals or the more doctor roles or, you know, the more business-like, they don't have time to see you in, you know, everyday t-shirt like this and be like, oh yeah, I can picture him being, you know, a CEO. It's like, no, you have to have a headshot that speaks to that tone of a commercial or that genre of a show or that. And yeah, it can get expensive. It can get expensive, especially if you don't know what you want to convey. Because again, now you're wasting money. We don't want to waste money. No. So, like I said, another video on headshots, and I can delve deeper on that. Second thing that is in that cart that many new actors mistakenly believe they need to be doing is getting an agent. I know we need an agent. Ultimately, ultimately, because I will tell you this, one of my most successful years in Los Angeles as an actor, I booked, I think, 12 different jobs. I booked 12 jobs, and that was the only year that I did not have an agent. So it is possible, y'all. It is possible to do this without an agent for a certain amount of time, for a certain level of jobs. I need to clarify. I was not going out perhaps for some of the things that the agents would have sent me out on, but I did that in 1 year by myself, which got me my next agent. So I'll talk about that. So my point is that when you first come to, let's say, Los Angeles or a big market, you like headshots and agent, the two things you always hear that you need, right? Okay, well, I already kind of debunked the headshot thing slightly. It's very expensive to make a commercial or show. Forget about a movie. It's millions and millions of dollars, right, that go into these efforts. And a lot of people who have jobs in these situations where they can like hire people, guess what? They want professionals. They want people who know what they're doing because they're putting a lot of money in these projects. They cannot afford to take risks if something doesn't work out, because you have heard it and it's true. I mean, you waste a minute and it's like $100,000 on a set. You waste an hour, it's like $1 million. It's a lot of money that you are responsible for bringing in to your readiness. People are expecting you to be ready when you get to set, right? So a lot of people think that, getting an audition is going to get you those jobs. But yes, an agent doesn't always want to take the risk on somebody who is new, who doesn't have the right materials, who hasn't taken classes, and isn't up to par to be on these really big sets. So until you prove yourself to an agent, oftentimes they will either decline or wait and see what you do on your own to see whether or not you are agent ready. So coming to LA and first thing out of the gates, trying to get an agent, in my opinion, is not only like hard, but it's really like demoralizing, because then you get rejected and then you feel like, what are you doing here? And then you can't get an agent, and then you get like jaded and you get frustrated. I mean, all those things happen and can happen very quickly. Now, the one caveat is this: agents will take on younger kids because they're deemed developmental talent, because they're young. They're not expected to have like that life experience that us adults are expected to have. So that is the one caveat. If you're a tiny person and you're young, agents are a lot more forgiving about your level of experience. Obviously, you're a little person. You haven't been alive that long. So they understand that. So let's see. So you have to have experience to get an agent, and you have to have auditions to get a job, and you need a headshot to get auditions. But I'm telling you not to do any of that. I know. Isn't it weird? So I am going to go back to the third thing, right? That's in that cart that new actors mistakenly believe they need to start doing the minute they get to LA. And that's auditioning. So if you were not an actor and you do not have acting training specifically, or you have not trained in Los Angeles, then the expectation is that you do take classes in LA, that you understand what is required of you, and that you can prepare. Because again, it's expensive and no one wants to waste their time, energy. on somebody who's entirely green and not ready to be on set. And that happens every day. And the thing is that if you start auditioning too early, right? If you start auditioning too early and you're not ready to audition, what happens is that casting remembers that. Yes, they have incredible memories. That's their job. That's what they're paid to do, to remember the people that they can bring in, that they know, like, and trust. We hear that oftentimes, that they know are going to deliver, that they know are going to over deliver, and that they know the client or the agency or the filmmaker are going to be really, really, really happy and satisfied with. So that is their job. So oftentimes casting might not want to take a risk on a newer actor that has not proved themselves with the skill set or the classes or the experience. And so if you start auditioning too early, it can really bite you in the booty. It really can. Again, you do need to ultimately begin to audition. I'm not saying come here and like be in class for like years upon years and never audition. No, that's not what I'm saying. What I am saying is that regardless of your level of experience coming in, let's say you went to theater school, or you graduated from a highly accredited acting curriculum, right? Amazingness. I would also encourage you to still seek out a class in Los Angeles, because things in LA are done very differently than in a college setting, right? It's like, it's the real world. Just how like things are different in college than they were in high school, things are different in the real world. We all know that, who've graduated from college, than what it was in college. So I would advise new actors coming here with their many years of schooling under their belt to still get into a really good acting class. And how do you do that? I touched on that in that other video, which I'm going to link below. So in case you didn't see that video, you can begin to navigate the waters so that you can get into a good acting class. And you start by doing free seminars and workshops to see if you jive with the teacher. There's more details in that video for you on that.
Yes.
So, headshots, agents, and auditioning too soon. Those are the three things in the cart that I believe new actors mistakenly believe they need to like hit the ground running with. I have some suggestions. I'm going to put them in the description box so that I don't leave you empty-handed and you're like, okay, now where do I go? Oh, no. I'm not going to do that to you, okay? I'm not going to do that to you. I believe that perhaps the first thing that would be helpful as far as a class is getting into like one of those learning like what you project classes. So like essentially a branding class. However, there are classes that are like 6, 8, 12 weeks to learn who you are. And me personally, I feel like you can shortcut that. It's like, again, everything's expensive. Classes in LA are expensive. You can expect to pay anywhere from $250 to $500-$600 a month for acting classes. And you're expected to be in acting classes like every month. See why I got a job at an acting studio? I saved gazillions of dollars. Okay, maybe that's not the right math, but you know what I mean. I saved a lot of money by working in an acting studio, and I got a lot of experience, which I'm super grateful for. So that's one option, right? It's a little more difficult with COVID now, so it's like, but the world is going to open back up. Los Angeles and filmmaking will continue. And should you decide to come to LA, that's a whole nother conversation. I'll have to put another video on that. Wow, these are a lot of different conversations, because it's not that like, okay, here's 20 minutes and this is all you can do to start your acting career. It's like, no, it's a lot of research, homework, execution, and trial and freaking error. I've made so many errors, and if I can help anyone minimize the number of errors coming into this town in pursuits of acting, then I am happy to do that. Very happy. Very happy. All right, y'all. So, what did we learn today? We learned, don't put the cart before the horse because you need the horse to drag the cart. Right? So, become a strong horse is the moral of the story. Become a strong horse. And how do you do that? Being in classes, learning about yourself, having a life. Have your life. If you love martial arts, if you love sports, if you love the piano, if you love all these different like extracurricular activities or hobbies, work on those. Because believe it or not, those are huge when it comes to commercial world. They can really make a big difference in your commercial auditioning getting. Yeah, you can get more commercial auditions the more skill sets you have, right? So if you know how to ride a horse, cool. If you know how to ride a bike, awesome. I know, I don't know how to ride a bike. That's why I make that an awesome point, because I don't know how to ride a bike. Yeah, right? So definitely stack those skill sets in your favor. Would be a recommendation of mine, especially now during COVID. Time to put your ducks in a row, to make your horse strong, right? This is that time, so that when things open up, you're good and ready, and you're like front and center, and you're like, yep, I have my headshot. Yep, I have my classes. Yep, I have my tools. Yep, I'm ready to audition. And that's where you want to start, because that's coming from a place of power. And when you have power in yourself and confidence, then guess what? You deliver a powerful performance. And that makes all the difference. Whether you book a job or whether you don't, people remember powerful performances. People remember great performances. People remember good performances too, because then they'll bring you back. And that is at the root of it all, the goal. So it's not always booking the job, because guess what? Only one person, I always do that, only one person is going to book the job, or that role rather. However, if you book the room, that's a term that's used a lot in LA. If you book the room, and that means you give a strong performance and people like you and remember you, they'll keep bringing you back for future opportunities. They'll keep bringing you back and back. And that is when the opportunities really begin to present themselves. And that's amazing. Oh, it's such a good feeling when the same casting director keeps bringing you back. And you're like, yay, I love that. I really love that. I just had that situation in the last 2 weeks. So I have a fairly new agent, started right before COVID. I thought I was going to hit the ground running with the new agent. However, the city shut down, the country shut down, the world shut down. And yeah, it was tough goings for a moment. And then I had the situation where my partner was willing to audition with me. So I got some auditions with my partner, and then we booked a few of them, and now I am like on my agent's radar. So I'm getting more auditions. So the cool thing is that, every agent has different relationships with different casting directors in this city. And so he has introduced me to new offices. Offices are interchangeable with casting directors. The term is used interchangeably. So I've been going into new offices, well, from home. And it's been amazing, because these new offices have been calling me back and back and back, which has been amazing. So those are the sorts of things that I want you to focus on if being an actor is near and dear to your heart and you want to pursue this. I want you to go in there winning, right? that is a powerful place to go from. So become a powerful horse. I'm going to keep going with that. As that powerful actor, you can just, I want to say sail, but horses don't sail. You know what I mean? You just come from a better place. So, did I cover everything? Oh, yes, there was one more thing, because I saw a few videos where the suggestion was to sign up for like the actor sites. That's the first thing you do, is sign up for these actor sites. Well, these actor sites, which are LA casting or casting networks, depending on which city, that's the network you're on. So it could be, San Francisco networks, or, whatever. I'm in LA. So it's called LA Casting, but it's part of Casting Networks. That is a very reputable website that us actors must be a part of in order to get auditions. So it's Casting Networks, there's Actors Access, there's Casting Frontier for commercials, there's Backstage, there's a few more, but those are like the top ones, right? So my thought when I saw this video was, no, don't do that. So yes, ultimately you are going to want to be on those sites. My recommendation, however, is not to do it initially. You can get a free account so that you can read the articles, so that you can get familiar with what's going on in town, so that you could see where the free workshops are, what the free offerings are. I would recommend it for that. However, the paid option, each one ranges between, let's say, 10, 12, 16 to $24, $25 a month, right? So in my opinion, why spend that on a monthly basis? That could easily be about $100 a month, give or take. Let's say $60 a month. That's fair. About $60 a month that you're spending on these sites to have your headshot on there, to have your resume on there. We got to talk resumes too. And then, to submit for auditions, but you're not ready to audition yet. It's in my opinion, do the free account initially, get a couple classes under your belt, figure out how you want to convey your headshot, who you want to, shine through as in your headshot, and then put up a really strong headshot on these sites. Because if you put a makeshift headshot, you're not going to get results, you're not going to get auditions, and you're going to be wasting $60 a month. As you can tell, acting is a very expensive profession to get into. It's very expensive. I'm scratching the surface on the expenses, on the monthly expenses as an actor in this city. So I would prefer you to hold off on paying for those monthly subscriptions. Some are annual, but the point is, hold off on that until you have prepared yourself, which is what you can be doing now during quarantine, right? Taking classes online. You can do that from anywhere in the world. And now you can submit from anywhere in the world. However, you want to be prepared to submit and audition powerfully is the essence of it all. Whew. I hope I didn't overwhelm you. I hope this is helpful. I really do mean it to come from a place of helping, because I want you to really feel strongly about your product. You are the product. You are the product that others need to buy. And they do have a need to buy us products, right? We're the ones that will go on screen and do what we need to do to perhaps sell more of their products, right? Talking from a commercial standpoint, or draw in a bigger audience talking from a show or movie standpoint. So it all works hand in hand. We need each other. We need agents. We need casting. We need filmmakers. We need media outlets. We need advertisers. We need clients to create their products. There's a lot, and it's amazing when it all comes together, and it feels so good. It feels so good. So I'm going to keep putting out a couple more videos about this because, again, scratching the surface, and I don't want you wasting money. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for subscribing. Hopefully you subscribe. Hopefully you like. Hopefully you comment. I love hearing from you all. I respond, and I take great joy in doing so. So please leave me comments. Please let me know if anything resonated with you, or if you agree or disagree. I think that's allowed, because, there's not just one way to skin a cat. Did I get that saying right? Did I? Oh, that's an awful thought, though. I don't think that's the right saying. Anyway, point is, there's more than one way to get to Rome. Is that the saying? I don't think so either. I'm just happy to be here with y'all. So I look forward to being back. Like, comment, subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye for now.